to share my opinion with you all today and tell y'all what I think about this subject. So I pray that you stay to the end because, as usual, this is a build. There's no script, there's no anything. We pick something and we share how we feel about it. We're all about sharing opinions. We don't have to agree on everything. We don't have to like what someone always has to say, but it's fun sharing what you think and building and having the conversation. So I want to have it with you all today. So, in my opinion, I feel that being into men physically is a masculine trait. Us women, we're not meant to be into men's physicality. Our attraction to men is supposed to come from the inside out.
I like this one.
What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy Rome back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. So, I had a video that was sent to me by one of my longtime subscribers, and when I saw the title of this, I immediately wanted to react to this because this is coming from the perspective of a woman. Content creator goes by Brianna Giselle. I'll make sure I leave a link to the video in full in the description because the original video is like a little over 30 minutes long, and obviously you guys know that I don't want to make my videos that long because if you add my commentary to the whole video, it's going to turn it into about a 45 minute video, and we don't want that. So I'm going to go through about half of this, share my thoughts, and see what the young lady is talking about. And the name of it is this trait is what's keeping women single. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
When you fall in love with a man internally, naturally you're attracted to him physically. There's so much going on in the world, whether you're watching TV, on social media, women talking about, oh, I want a guy who's 6'2", I want a guy who looks like this, I want a guy whose beard is like this and dresses like that. That's cool, I guess, but you're limiting yourself because men are not designed to be physical, something that we are into physically.
And right off the rip, making a very, very valid point. I remember Kevin Samuels trying to stress this to the women that he would speak to on his show because they would always come with these requirements and expectations as far as the looks of men. Now, nobody over here is saying women gotta be with a booger wolf, but also you gotta understand that men were not created to be beautiful like women were. Women were made to be beautiful. And I'm like, and I gotta be honest with you, I think this is one of the reasons why the powers that be have gone through such lengths to try to eliminate religion to some degree, because I think she's going to be referencing the word quite a bit, and I think that's one of the reasons why, because if people really understood the word and knew of the Bible a lot more, I think they would be surprised at the things that they would learn. And this is one of those very things. Because I remember Kevin Samuels telling women all the time, like, we were not made to be beautiful in your eyes. Y'all were made to be beautiful in ours. You know, it's a reason why men fall in love with what they see and women fall in love with what they hear. Because it's been plenty of men that y'all done probably came across that probably wasn't your first choice as far as looks go. But when he was telling you what you wanted to hear, you bent the knee, didn't you? Just saying.
We're supposed to find and attract more so the man that's gonna love us for us. You may have something where you're like, oh, I know what I want my guy to look like. I promise you, the man who's going to love you genuinely, authentically, treat you right, all of those things, they're likely not going to fit that package that you're thinking of. They're not going to be 6'2". They're not going to be all of these things, because that's not what men are about. We women are the ones that were designed to be physical beings. If it were meant to be any other way, there would be makeup for men. There would be all these cosmetic surgeries, all the things that we do, the weaves, etc., the lashes. There would be the male equivalent to that if it was meant for men to be that. There would be height surgery would be the norm, just like boob jobs and makeup, weave, all of this is normalized in our culture. There would be knee alignment surgeries would be the norm. Just all of these things that we desire. There would be male enhancement versions of it as the norm, but it's not, and it shouldn't be, because physicality is not what's supposed to attract us about a man. It's supposed to be who they are inside, their integrity, their character, their morals, how they treat us. That's what we're supposed to fall in love with and be attracted to.
And I agree, because if you notice, you don't really see a lot of women who, especially the ones that talk all this soft life shit, you notice they don't never bring up any of the stuff that she mentioned. They don't never bring up character. And I think part of the reason why is because, along with the soft girl content exploding, I think is that, and a combination of the fact that women can provide for themselves financially. So instead of going for the man that's best for them, which will mostly involve character, and you would think now that you can provide for yourself, you should be going for that. But instead, what these women are doing, because you can also add cook up culture to this being a reason. Now these women are just going after and screwing the men that they want, regardless of character. And that's why she's having this conversation about looks, because now that these women no longer have to look for things in a man outside of that, because they can provide for themselves, they feel like they can just deal with ain't shit men, run up a body count like a man, and then still get the man of their dreams, or the perfect man, once they done with a 304 phase or what have you. So that's what you got going on a little bit too.
And then the physical, naturally, when you're being loved, when you're being appreciated, when you're being treated well, when a man is being a man to you, then the physicality, you naturally are attracted. You see everything about him as attractive physically after you fall in love with their internal, because that's how we were designed. We were designed to fall in love internally with men. Men are more so supposed to be into a woman's appearance, because that's how we were designed. God designed us to be things of beauty. God designed us to attract in a physical type of way, not solely physical, but we are designed to have a physical attraction to us, to attract men. So if you're into men for their physical, you're acting in your masculine energy. That's masculine type stuff. So if that's the case, when you take that away, you can really attract the man for you, the perfect guy, because you've taken the masculine aspect, which is being into physical, out of yourself, and you're attracting him with your feminine eye, which is an eye for his internal. And I like to dig a little bit deeper and share a little bit that I know from personal experience. I know for me, I would never even desire to have a man where I was attracted to him physically first. And that's Like, that's why I've never had the specifications of, oh, he has to be a certain height, a certain weight. I've never had those things, and I don't have those things because, one, as I said, that's going to limit me to who I'm not able to really see who really loves me for me if I have those types of barriers that are very vain and not seen with my feminine eye. But on top of that, and this, I really want y'all to hear me when I say this, because this is really important. The main reason I wouldn't want that is because when you are into a guy from a physical realm and you're so physically attracted, you are ignoring everything bad about him internally. You're ignoring all his red flags. That's why there's so many women who have kids, who've had family, who have dated men who are no good internally, that really don't love them, really don't like them, really don't cherish them a lot of times because they were into the flesh, they were into the physical aspects. Oh yeah, he's the height I like, he's the weight I like, he's the skin complexion I like, he has the beard I like his hair, I like his drip, I like his swag, I like what he wears, I like his cologne. Those types of things are a facade. They cloud your mind. And the main thing, please listen here, when you deal with men on that level, it attracts and it brings out the Jezebel spirit in you. It brings out the nastiest characteristics of you a lot of times. And I know this from personal experience. When I was like that many moons ago, when I've allowed myself to get caught up into being so physically into a guy, that's when I was breaking my character. I was losing my integrity. I was being less than my normal womanly self because I was jumping through hoops to be with him because I wanted him so bad. I wanted that guy, whoever it was at the time, so bad because I was so physically drawn that my Jezebel, nasty, ungodly spirit was calling for him. And that put me in a position to be my worst self because the part of you that is into men physically is not your godly side. I promise you, God wants you to attract the man that loves you the best. And a lot of people don't want to hear it, but it's so true.
I agree with her, but I gotta rephrase her at the end. What you meant to say was that a lot of women don't want to hear this because men have been telling women for the past few years, especially in this space, exactly what she just said. And this ain't nothing new to men because we've been telling other men for the longest, like, this is part of the reason, and I kind of just did a video about this. This is part of the reason why so many women are single now. Because they would rather be with the guy, even though he might not necessarily be good for her, but because they like him, whether it's something physical or whatever the case may be, they will ignore all these red flags and jump through hoops and whatever it takes to try to get him. But a man that's actually good for them, they start making him go through hoops, essentially treating him the same way the men that didn't take her seriously was treating her. So it's just one vicious cycle, and the men are waking up to this shit. Just keep it moving.
The man that's gonna love you the best, he might be cross-eyed. And that's funny, but I'm serious. He could be 5'1". He could, you don't know what kind of physical package he is gonna come in. But it's what really matters and what's really important in life is who is going to love you the best, who is going to be loyal to you, who is going to treat you how you want to be treated, who are you compatible with. that 6'2" guy with the beard, with the whatever you're into, whatever your physical aesthetic is, the guy with all those things, I'm telling you, most of the time, he's not the one internally. He's not the guy that's gonna love you right. He's not the guy who's gonna love you right, depending on what you attract. If you don't like what you're attracting, guess what? You have to change you. You cannot control who is into you unless you change you, right? And you shouldn't want to change you anyways. That's not the point. You should want to be your true self and attract who is really going to love you genuinely. And who is going to love you genuinely may not match the physical package that in your mind you think that you want. When you tap in with God and you tap in with yourself and realize what's really important, and some people, you have to go through it. Some people have to date and be with, marry, procreate, whatever, with those guys who have all your physical checks, and you see they are not it. And then eventually you may get to a level of emotional maturity where you decide, okay, what really matters is how a man treats me. What really matters is a man who's respecting my boundaries. What really matters is someone who's trying to build and I can pour into and they can pour into me and we can love one another. A person who I'm compatible with. No matter, some people have to go through it, but it's great if you could just listen and take this in and not have to experience it for yourself, especially if you're a young person. You're a young person, you don't even, you can just skip through that part and just remember, hey, how someone treats me is what matters. How a man treats me. The world has people so caught up in this physical stuff. And I see it from people of all ages. There's older women in their 60s still talking about, I need a man who's taller. I need a man who's this. At 60, at 70, at 40, at 50. You don't want to be one of these. You don't want to be in this position.
It's sad, bro, because she is 100, bro. I tell you, because when she said 60 and 70, I immediately thought of this clip that I reacted to a long time ago. It was like the elders version of Pop the Balloon. You got all these women gotta at least be retirement age. I'm talking 60s and 70s easily. And one of the women literally disqualified this brother because he wasn't talking about some, oh, he gotta be 6 foot plus. And then I'm looking at her like, and this is a short old lady at that. I'm thinking to myself, why? Like, seriously, why? At your age, why is that important? You got 40 and 50-year-old women over here talking about they got a man on the side, but they expecting a man their age to pop up and take them seriously while they screwing somebody still. Like, bro, you be surprised the amount of, and mind you, I'm 40. You'd be surprised the amount of women that are my age or older, they still out here moving around like teenagers, bro. It's crazy, bro. But it's a real thing. I'm like, women just don't want to acknowledge it. At least the ones that are participating in it anyway, because in order, because if they admit to it, then they can't use the victimhood card later.
You want to attract who's going to love you properly and treat you how you want to be treated. And you cannot control what kind of physical package that comes in. And more importantly, like I said earlier, you should want somebody where you're attracted to their internal and then the external follows, because it does naturally go that way. Because that's how us women are designed to love. That's how we're supposed to love. The way that we're loving right now is very worldly. It's keeping us divided. It's keeping us from finding the person that we're meant to have, because we're so caught up in physical things that really don't matter. They always say, a lot of men even get this more. men are supposed to be into women physically, and there's no excuse not to because they give us all the tools to be as attractive as we can be. They give us the makeup, we have the hair, we have the extensions, we have the boob jobs, the BBLs. Any way you want to look is available to us as women. So we're meant to draw men in physically. But men look how they look, their height is their height, their size is their size, everything about them is what it is. And we're supposed to fall in love with how they treat us. Nothing more, nothing less. It's keeping us single, it's keeping us vain, it's keeping us unhappy. Because again, if you are one of those women who does get what you like physically, a lot of times they are not going to treat you how you want to be treated. And that's natural. That's how the attraction goes. Because again, the physical part of you that's attracted to his physical is not your godly self. That's your Jezebel self inside coming out that's desiring that man in that way. So I really appreciate anybody who got through this. Please let me know what you think. Please see how you feel. Even if you disagree, just say, hey, I'm gonna just try to be more open with not being so vain with my physical limitations. I'm gonna actually get to know men internally. It's so important because we're living in a world where they want us divided, they want us fighting, they don't want us together. They don't want us together financially, they don't want us together economically, they don't want the family unit together, they don't want couples together, they don't want dads in relationships with moms raising their kids in a two-parent household, they don't want dads having relationship with their children, they don't want any form of unity. They're attacking it in all ways and shapes, and we can't necessarily control how they choose to attack us and use these weapons to divide us. But what we can control is our minds and how we see things. And it's so important to see what's going on. Your algorithm, all of our algorithms are feeding us toxic information that has us hating and disliking one another. And women, we are at the forefront of it.
Yeah, I have no shame in admitting the algorithm part of what she had to say, because a lot of the stuff that I be coming across, as well as the other men that follow me and send me videos, it definitely makes today's women very, very unlikable. I mean, but in all seriousness, bro, if you get rid of the entitlement and the hypocrisy, if you get rid of those two things, eliminating those two things alone will make women far more likable, far more likable, because that's a lot of what you see on the internet that kind of got men checked out. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this, and I'll make sure I leave the link in to the video in full in the description, because like I said, it's like over 30 minutes long. But anyway, if you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification, that way y'all know what I'm uploading. Hit the like button, because that's what the algorithm helps me reach a broader audience. Also, look out for the travel vlog channel as well as the live show channel. Both links are in the description. Until the next video, y'all, deuces.